It's Friday morning, day one of my first ever member guest experience at Tampa Palms. Friday, 3 9-hole matches. Saturday, an additional 2 9-hole matches. Yet here I am, it's Friday morning. The entire week prior has been dedicated to flipping my calendar upside down, to squeeze in additional range sessions, lessons, putting practice, extra mobility, and a gentle and gradual backing off of the weights to prepare myself for peak performance. Outside of one single practice session, which was executed barefoot in my front yard with a wedge and a handful of foam golf balls while my son watched and I chit-chatted with my neighbor, the entire week's plan was executed at 0%. My son, incredibly sick. My nanny, incredibly sick. And guess what? I, too, incredibly sick. I woke up Friday morning with a raging fever. The best intentions to get up at 5 o'clock, get extra mobility in, some yoga, some additional stretching. And I found myself with a fever, a raging headache. Oh man, it felt like I had drank double-digit bourbons the night before and had to struggle to wake up that Friday morning. I was hurting. And instead of executing this elaborately planned mobility and pre-play routine to prepare myself to play 27 holes, I found myself head in my hands, milking a coffee, trying to get some form of food in my stomach so I could grab a handful of ibuprofen and make it through the day. What's up, fellow golfer? You have any relation, any relatable experience to this type of member guest event? Because that's how mine went, and I'm excited you're here. I'm excited to share this story, this experience of my member guest event with you. I appreciate you being here. I always look forward to these experiential recap and reflection episodes with you. I also always like to share a few prefaces, a few context points. Number one, I'm still congested as fuck. I apologize in advance for the sound quality here. Number two, I have so much I want to share with you. It's likely that I'm going to come across a bit disorganized and I'm going to hop from one point to the next. I'm okay with that. I just want this to flow. I want it to be vulnerable. I want it to be real. I want it to be emotional. And I'm going to do my best to intertwine my personal experience as a player, but also share with you some observations, keeping in mind that I've only been in the golfing world again about 18 months. This is my first member guest. I've got one member under my belt. I haven't even been a member at my club for a year yet. So it's fascinating that I get to bring this novelty, this naivety to the experience and then share my perspectives, my takeaways with you here, because it's a beautiful opportunity to see things from a different perspective, especially you as a listener. If you've done dozens of these, if you've been golfing for years, decades, that fresh perspective, I hope, is going to challenge you to challenge some of your own beliefs and look within yourself to see how you can show up better, how you can be better. So I encourage you to listen with an open mind. You're going to find some laughs, you're going to find some relatability, and a handful of nuggets to help you become better by the end of this conversation. And there's so many directions to go today. So many places to begin, so many points to discuss. If you hear an extra long pause, I'm probably muting myself to blow my nose or take a drink of water. But let's pick back up on Friday morning. Yeah, raging fever. Felt like shit. Don't know how else to describe it. Fever, got a banana in, I got 3 ibuprofen in, I finally got some coffee down. And it was an interesting perspective because I kept telling myself, to be honest, this was my internal dialogue, all right, Michael Jordan flu game. Like, this is what's going to happen. And obviously we know that was more of a food poisoning game. He felt like death. I felt like death. I really wanted to have a Michael Jordan-esque performance. And my sole objective in this experience was to win our flight, period. Absolutely everything I had been doing the last couple of weeks and really months prior was to get myself in the best position possible to play incredibly well, to give our team a shot to win the event. When I signed up, I'm a 15 handicap at the time. My partner was a 13.9. So we were in that 25 to 30 handicap total bracket amongst each respective pair. There are 6 teams per flight, and we have the highest combined handicap in our flight. So we are, at the bottom, so to speak, if you will, in terms of handicap index, but it's such a small range. You and I both know we can see such a wide range of scores being shot, especially when the alcohol is flowing, the tournament pressure, the money, the betting, and the gambling incentives begin to weigh on you as well. What I found, though, was a sweet spot. A sweet spot of expectation and focus. I had very little energy, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the advantage of that is that I could only direct that energy to focus on very few things. I'm a very sociable, personable person. There was not much small talk and chit-chatting for me that first day. Tampa Palms just finally opened a brand new range facility and short course. I think there's 12 bays with, it's what is it? It's not TrackMan. What is it? Shot tracer technology in every single bay that finally opened. I had not used it yet. So I got a really solid warm up in under my belt. Got ample shots on the range, ample time putting and chipping. I was very physically warmed up from a feel and feedback perspective as we began the day. Little to focus on, highly drugged, highly caffeinated, and highly hydrated. I ended up going through about 10 or 11 Gatorade G2s throughout the course of day one. And I came out fucking hot. Boom, par 5. Scored a par on the first hole, won the hole outright. Second hole, par 3, boom, stuck the green, 2-putt par, thank you, boom. We're up 2 after 2. Match play event, 9-hole matches, and we're in cruise control. And to be frank, I played lights out those first 9 holes. Absolutely great golf. I think I shot a 44 in total on 9. Incredible. Played really well. We won the match convincingly. I think we won 5 holes, pushed 2, lost 2. Never was in danger, never a threat. Really, really great match. Second hole, and this is where I run into a little bit of an issue with member guests, but I guess it's just how it is. 144 individuals, 144 grown men. The vast majority who are either hungover or already drunk. Fucking impossible to organize and keep on time. And I'm not telling you anything new. But Friday turned into, I got to the course at 7:30. I didn't get home until 7:30. God bless my nanny. I had to pay her a little extra to stay overtime to watch my son during the day. But I share that because during our second match, we started on a par 3, shotgun start, played that, waited over 30 minutes before we teed off on the next hole. And that was the round. These 9-hole matches were taking about 3 hours. And it just brought in an interesting element because the weather was beautiful, fortunately. The high was like 81 to 83. The wind was a howling and a spinning. But this patience element tested most, if not all, players, myself included. It really challenged you to find ways to cope and manage in between shots, in between holes. Are you conversing with your playing partners? This is member guests, so you're not best buddies with everybody in every single match. You know some people, you don't know some people. Some of you are feeling great. Some of you are drunk. Some of you are hungover. If you're like me, I feel like fucking death. But anyway, in the second match, in hindsight, I recognized I didn't take my next dose of medicine proactively enough. And I just didn't play well the second match. I mean, I could sit here and come up with a million different excuses. We actually got our asses kicked. And it was quite shocking, quite disappointing, because it was a very winnable match. I didn't play well. Partner and I played great the first match. Second match, we were both just inconsistent. We were consistently inconsistent. That's what made it worse. So we got our butts kicked there. And finally, I rallied for the third match. Very tightly contested match. I think we won it on the 8th hole, maybe the 9th. I don't quite recall. But what I took away from that day, aside from not feeling well whatsoever, was a lot of the intention I had put into course management and tee box practice before this event was really paying off. You know, if you remove the middle 9 holes, the first 9 and the last 9 holes, very, very solid off the tee. And on this course, I primarily used a 4 or a 5 iron. I didn't pull out driver once the entire tournament. And that was mainly a decision based on the lack of practice the week prior, though typically I only use driver on a handful of holes on this particular course. I do favor my 3-wood quite a lot. I did not use it very much, and you'll find out more about that why when I get to the Saturday recap. But here we are at the end of day Friday. We're 2-1. We're tied. We're in a 3-way tie for first at the end of our day in our flight. What's interesting to note, and it will make more sense as I continue on reflecting on the play, is partly the reason we lost that second match was on 3 holes, I ended up in a greenside bunker. Couldn't get out to save my life. Could not get out to save my life. And that's just a direct reflection of very inconsistent bunker practice, almost, if I'm very honest with myself, a little bit of avoidance and hoping and praying I just don't end up in the bunker, because I still don't feel committed and certain about the technique that's most consistent in producing a favorable outcome when I'm in the bunker. And during my last lesson, which was about 7 or 8 days prior, I did about 5 or 10 minutes in the bunker with my coach, and just he was telling me something I hadn't quite heard before. It just wasn't jiving. And I didn't, as you know, get any real practice the week leading up to this. So my bunker play was more of pray and hope I don't end up in a bunker and just hope I can find a way out. And I didn't. I absolutely didn't. It was atrocious. I couldn't get out of the bunker to save my life. Ironically, though, I found myself in a couple fairway bunkers and 4 for 4, if you will. 3 for 3. I don't know how many times I was out of the fairway bunker. I was reliable. I was consistent. A great shot. Got on the green, green and reg a couple of times, or came up just short. Very good. Short side bunker. Couldn't get out to save my life. And it was a huge, obvious handicap and weak spot. Now, Saturday morning, I wake up. My ears are leaking. My eyes are leaking. My nose is just like a running faucet. I'm blowing my nose. Blood is coming out. I still have a fever. And for all of you I played with, I apologize. I kept my distance intentionally. Candidly, probably shouldn't have been playing. Candidly, don't care. Showed up with a mission, showed up with an objective. Here to win, here to play. Not in a good spot. To complicate matters even more, the usual weekly timing of when my son's mother and I exchange my son for our 50-50 timeshare is at 8:30 in the morning. We teed off at 9 a.m. And the golf course was about 20 minutes away from where I had to drop him off. So needless to say, I arrived at the golf course at 8:51 with a 9 o'clock start. I did not warm up. I did not have time to hit a ball. I literally hit one single 4-foot putt. Because I went over there thinking I had a few minutes to practice putting, and then they blew the horn, ready to rock and roll. So no warm up. And I got about 15 minutes of mobility work in the morning prior before my son woke up. I was trying to maximize as much time I could sleep as possible. And again, the goal was just getting caffeine, fluids, and ibuprofen in my body. And it showed. First hole, literally the easiest hole in the golf course. A beautiful par 3, water on your left, bunker on your left, bunker on your right. Just fucking shanked it. Pushed it well into the woods. Thankfully, my partner hit a fantastic clutch putt, so we halved the hole. Second hole, tee box, just fucking pushed it again. Just cold. And for me, not even just awareness, like I like some feely warm up. I want to feel and see a few good shots. I can swing and the swing feels great, but without any immediate feedback, took me a little while to get going. And this fourth match, the opponents were incredibly beatable, but I cost us 3 or 4 holes. I didn't hit a quality shot until the third hole. On the approach shot, my tee shot was in play. I had a great approach shot. I think we ended up having that hole. But after 3 holes, we pushed 2, lost 1. Then all of a sudden, we won a couple because I finally was able to hit the ball. My partner was playing well. And we're up 2-1. And we just couldn't find it. We were consistently inconsistent again. We gave a couple away. It's like they kept trying to leave the door open for us, and we were saying, no, thank you. We're going to take a different route. And we fucking blew it. We lost it on the 8th hole. So now we're 2-2. I'm feeling like crap physically. I'm feeling like crap mentally and emotionally because I feel like I'm letting my partner down. He's frustrated because the last 2 holes, he kind of imploded. And we're in a shitty spot. And I just remind myself, I remember prior to getting our last hole assignment going into the 5th match, I knew because I saw one of the teams that we were tied with yesterday had lost. I knew we still had a chance. So I remember walking away from the crowd at the meeting spot for a minute and just kind of recollecting and having some conversation with myself and just really taking a moment to be grateful. I'm here. I'm golfing. Beautiful fucking day. I'm meeting some great people. I'm having a blast with my friend who's my guest in the tournament. And it's a great day. And I have a great opportunity to be great, to finish strong. We're 1 match away from winning the flight. That's all it is. That's the only way to look at it. 1 match, 1 hole, 1 shot at a time. And I really challenged myself to just sit and breathe into some gratitude. Just the day before, I had a nanny who was willing to stay long and watch after my son. And to be honest, the day before, so this is Friday I'm talking about momentarily, for the first time, I have a day, I have limited time with my son, 50% of the time. Being away from him really hit me. The first time I've ever experienced this, like, I really just wanted to be home with him. And I hated that I was home so late. I got to put him to bed and everything, but it was a new emotional experience for me that was kind of weighing on me. And I reminded myself in that moment prior to the 5th match on Saturday, like, physically I feel sick, but like from a muscular joint perspective, I feel really good. My heart is full. I slept well. I've got a lot to be grateful for. I forgot to mention Friday night, I spent about 15 minutes stretching, put my legs up above my head for a while, and it really paid off. Like, I was in a good spot. There was nowhere I needed to be. There was no stress or worry on my plate. And I would be foolish not to take advantage of this opportunity to lock the fuck in and play the best golf I possibly could in this 5th match. And so we're off. We're off to the races. And first hole, push, nothing spectacular. My partner played really well. I just have to really shout out my partner. Played incredibly consistent as a whole. Had some really clutch putts, a couple holes that he not a couple, more than a couple, multiple holes he just won outright for us, and it was great. Really, really proud of him showing up. But we're about 4 holes in on this last match. Tight competition. This 72-year-old gentleman, he's playing back from the blue tees with us. His brother, mid-50s, is playing up from the 4 tees, which is equivalent to the senior tees. The old man, fucking consistent. He didn't hit a bad shot all around. So he's the lowest handicap. He doesn't get any pops. I had about 4 pops. Then my partner had 4 pops. And then his partner had about 7 throughout the 9 holes. Really, really good. So we're about 4 holes in, and I think maybe it's 5 holes in. Yeah, we're 5 holes in, and we're up 2 holes. 2 wins, 3 pushes. So we're up 2-0, feeling pretty good. And we're on the fucking 6th hole. And partner has pushed one, not OB, but we have a lot of red line OBs on this course. So play it as it lies. He's got to punch out. That's why I'm bringing this up. I'm sitting there just off the fringe, par 4. And the way everything shakes out is, in my mind, I am either chipping in to win the hole outright, or if I just chip it and putt it, I'm going to make par. And the other guy's going to have to sink like a 20-foot putt for par to have the hole. Well, my partner hits his, and I forget about his punch out. So I'm thinking he's putting for birdie. He misses his birdie putt by like 12 inches and just fucking rush and tries to tap in the 1-footer and fucking misses that. And I was a little angry. It was just a miscommunication. I was like, dude, you got to fucking slow down. I'm on edge. I'm short. And this is all happening internally. But in my mind, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why did you just rush that? So he misses the 1-foot putt. He's in for a 5. So I am actually unaware. He's actually in for a 6. And the other guy is actually putting for birdie. So the point I'm trying to make, because I'm not quite remembering all the details, is I am 1 off on everybody's stroke count for whatever reason. So I chip, and because I thought my partner was in for a 5, and that guy missed his par putt, I've got what I thought was kind of a tap in. I didn't communicate. This is all on me. Didn't communicate with my partner about his score. Didn't communicate with him slowing down to take his time on the 1-foot putt. Didn't communicate with the opponent about everyone's score. I committed a faux pas. I picked up my ball, thinking we had won the hole. So instead of going up 3-0, guess what, Paul? You didn't double check. You didn't triple check. You didn't over communicate. And it was a penalty because actually I was wrong in where everybody's scores were, and I picked up my ball. So therefore, it was a penalty and we lost the hole. So instead of being up 3-0, we're now up 2-1. My partner's pissed off because he missed the 1-footer. He's likely pissed off, though he didn't say it, at me for making such a dumb mistake. I'm pissed off because for many reasons, all me to blame that I just cost us that hole. So now all of a sudden, again, instead of being up 3-0 in this last match, we need to win to, I think, win our flight. It's 2-1. And now all of a sudden, they win the next hole. It's 2-2. So what was that? That's 6-7. We push 8. And we're all square with 1 hole to go. It's a par 3, slightly uphill. I think it's playing at 187. And it's uphill. And it's just the optical illusion, I'm sure, of the surrounding environment, but it kind of looks like it's like this slanting left to right terrain. Green is more long and narrow. Huge bunker that follows the green all on the left, and you just got a lot of undulation, rough and shit if you miss the green to the right. Hit a beautiful 7-iron up there. And again, the wind is howling. And I've been playing a draw, like my normal ball flight's a draw. As the tournament progressed, the draw got bigger and bigger. Some laziness in my mechanics, some fatigue with some of those longer clubs. Hit my tee shot pin high into the bunker. Partner pushes his way left. One of the opponents pushes his way right. The older gentleman, the better of the two, hits his just a little short right of the green. So he chips on. He's got about 18 to 20 feet. His partner chips on. He's got about 15 feet. So they're putting for par. My partner chips over the bunker and onto the greener fringe. So he's like 40 feet away. And I'm in the bunker. Well, fuck me. The one place I don't want to be, the universe is just laughing at me. Terrible. Literally did not get out of the bunker yesterday. And here I am, last hole, need to win this match and maybe get some help. I don't know at this point to win our flight. And I just tell myself to swing through and let it flow. And I stuck that shot, short-sided bunker, to 2 inches. Fucking ecstatic. Obvious tap-in par for 3. They both missed their putts. We take the fucking hole. Oh man, it felt so good. The way to win it after yesterday's sand struggles. Oh, it was great. It was great. I wish I had the energy to fully express how fucking good it felt. So we make the long trek back to the clubhouse to see the final results and standings. And we fucking won our flight. We fucking won our flight. 3 wins, 2 losses was enough. Over the moon. Now you got to remember, I've never participated in a member guest before. I know of the shootout. Yet when I did my only member, I don't know if that was back in March or April, I had to immediately leave after the last round. I was going to maybe be able to stay if we made the shootout. We didn't, because I had a prior commitment I had paid money to, I wanted to do. I was a last second addition to the member. So I have no expectation and experience. And people are kind of telling me, because I'm asking a lot of questions. I probably sound like just a curious fuck. I'm like, so when does the shootout start? What's next? Like, what are we doing? Because part of me feels like shit. Part of me is starving. They have a huge spread of food inside. Delicious food, a massive dessert table, and I've got a massive sweet tooth. But here I am. Do I have time to eat a decent amount of food? I don't want to be heavy, weighed down. Do I just grab a bite? Do I do I don't know what to eat. I don't know how much time I have. And in the middle of all this, there's 12 flights. 12 teams make the shootout, and then 2 wild cards, like the next 2 highest point totals, also make the shootout. Many of the flights have a fucking tie in terms of wins and total points accumulated. So they're over on the practice green doing a chip off to see who goes to the shootout. And I finally am like, okay, I think I have enough time. My buddy and I we go sit down, we grab some food. Yep, totally couldn't get the pause button there. And we're 5-6 minutes into eating before an announcement. Okay, if you're in the shootout or you want to watch and stay, 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker. I wanted to swing some clubs. I wanted to putt a little bit. I wanted to eat. I got 0 time. And again, I don't know what to expect. So there's this novelty. And I remember telling myself, just trust. And I texted my good buddy Luke, like an update, like where we are. And he told me too, he's some great advice. It's just you and your golf ball, dude. It's just you and your golf ball. Let everything else go. So I kept that playing. Shout out to Luke. I appreciate that. And I knew it was alternate shot. What I didn't know was that based on which flight you were in, it impacted which tee box you teed off. So I've been playing from blues or twos all day, but because of what flight we were in, to kind of even out the distribution, because we're playing against, the scratch and plus handicap flight as well, we ended up teeing off from the 5s, or the ladies' tees, if you will. Didn't know that until last minute. The reason that's relevant is because we're talking course strategy. I've got the Grint app open. We know what holes we're playing, 3, 4, 16, 17. And just based on my partner's play that day, the kind of the feel of everything so far, it made the most sense. As much as I wanted that, so-called pressure-filled moment teeing off in front of many people, it made most sense for him to. He'd been pretty solid off the tee. He played a nice cut. This hole was a dog leg right. Everything just favored that. It was about a 225 shot out. That's about where his drive consistently ended up. For me, that was more of a 5 iron out there. So he was going to hit the drive or the tee shot. I was going to hit a beautiful approach shot. He was going to sink the birdie putt. If not, I'd clean up for par. We'd go on to the next one. Well, we quickly realized we're teeing off from the 5 tee, and suddenly that 225 shot became about a 160 shot. And we didn't realize that in time to have any discussion around it. So he inevitably tees off with a 7. And by the way, shootouts are such a shit show in such a positive way. You've got 8 balls on the fairway, 4 sprayed out of bounds. It was such a scene. Thoroughly enjoyed being a part of just witnessing it while also being present enough to play. So partner doesn't hit a great shot. I don't think there's anything more to say. We find ourselves, again, it's a dog leg right. He doesn't clear the curve right on the red line. So he's not OB, but I got to play it as it is. And all I have available to me is a punch out. So I take a 7 iron. I punch it out. I think he's got 58 yards to the pin. It's a fairly wide and narrow green. Looks like a lima bean or a kidney bean. Big bunker in the middle. It's kind of a bowl into the middle with the undulation of the green. The pin is back right, and he pulls his approach shot. We're probably 36 to 40 feet away, about 3 feet off the fringe into the rough. I end up chipping to about 6 feet. He misses that, and I clean up for a 6. So the way our shootout works is 4 teams are removed each hole. So you go 14 to 10 to 6 to 2. And you keep playing that last hole, which is a par 3 over and over. Well, when I tapped in and cleaned up that putt, the director of golf, KK, who's the guest on last week's podcast, you got to listen to that one. Phenomenal episode. He yells out Salter Jones for 5. I'm like, nope. That's not right. We have a 6. So I walk all the way around the green slowly and just kind of go up in his ear. And I'm like, hey, dude, you called us out for 5. We actually got a 6. And he sits there and he starts mentally calculating because he's tallied everything. And he's like, oh, shit. Okay. Well, first off, thank you. Second of all, I don't think you're going to make the cut. And I was like, yeah, I know. But we just didn't get a 5. We got a 6. It is what it is, dude. So what's hysterical, thank you, universe, is in front of me, we need somebody else to get a 6 or a 7 to make our 6 valid enough to see if we could push on to the next hole. And I watched a twosome in front of me 3-putt from about 4 feet, and that opened the door to suddenly create an opportunity for a playoff amongst three teams fighting for 2 spots to go on to the next hole. And it was a chip off from about, let's call it 30 to 40 feet. I don't quite know. No, not feet, yards. Probably about 30 yards, excuse me. No, probably 20 yards. I'm sorry, I'm just picturing again in my mind. To call it 20 to 25 yards off the green from the hole. And 3 of us, 2 spots to move forward. First guy goes, fucking chips it to within 6 inches. Okay, he's pretty much a lock to go on. I go next. This is the cool moment. My coach, again, the guy running it, the guy I've been taking lessons with the last 3 months, right in front of me, I chip it to 6 inches, just inside the other guy's ball. Fuck yeah, okay. Third guy has a miss hit, so us 2 are going on. And just having that moment to do it right in front of my coach. Proud coach moment for him, I imagine. Just proud moment for me. Like, fuck yeah. Really, really cool. He made a snide remark like, man, I wonder who taught you that. I was like, yeah, I don't think I pay him enough. So that was cool. So we're on to the next one. Next hole, second hardest hole in the course. Long par 4. And if you're playing from the normal tee box, requires about a 220 to 240 shot. I say that because if you can't cut the ball, if you can cut the ball because there's some tree overhang, you can hit a bit longer because there's a big water hazard in the middle, and then there's a bunch of bunch of bunkers heavily guarding the green on the other side. So usually the way I played is I hit my 5 or 4 iron, 220-ish, and then I have another long iron into the green. Pin is in the middle there. So I think the hole's playing, what did it play? 439 maybe? Anyway, we're playing from reds though. So this is totally different ball game. So we decide I'm going to take the tee shot. We need about 170 and we're out of the way of the overhanging trees. So there's no interference, clean look. It's all about just kind of getting to the right side of the fairway to have the best approach shot possible. So I hit a 9 iron off the tee box. It goes about 165, 170. Perfect. Exactly what we needed. My partner's got a very clean look, inviting look into the green. And at this point, it was such a good decision on his end prior to me choosing to hit the 9 iron versus going over the water. We were originally thinking about me taking a 5 iron and really getting as close to the green as possible. But we had watched so many other people spray it in the water, spray it into the woods. He's like, let's take a little bit more of a conservative approach. Let's just keep it in play. I'm like, you know what? That's fantastic. Really smart observation there. So I hit the 9 iron. I think it ends up giving him a 7 iron in. He just pulls it into the water, actually pulls it in the bunker. It bounces a couple times, and the distance between the left edge of the bunker and the water is about 5 feet. hits the bunker, bounces and swirls a couple times, lifts out of the bunker and trickles down into the water. Like you can literally see it in the edge of the water when we walked up there. So that's unfortunate. So we're lying 4 on this uphill shit lie, barely have both feet on the grass, almost one in the water or one in the bunker. And I just flubbed the chip shot. Then he flubs it into the bunker. And then I can't get out of the bunker, and that's all she wrote, unfortunately. So we lose out and don't proceed past the second round of the shootout. So much fucking fun. What a ride, what an experience. And that is my personal recap from a player's perspective. And again, big shout out to my playing partner, Aaron. So much fun to play with him. He carried us when I needed him most. We complemented each other well. Our strategic decision making in certain areas just was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed it. And I learned so much about myself. I mean, fucking resilient. I still feel like shit. I took all day off yesterday. I had to cancel my coaching calls today. I'm struggling to get through this, if I'm being honest with you. I'm probably going to try to take a nap later. But here we are. I learned a lot about myself, and I've got so many reflections about golf, about high performance, about the human element. And I wanted to include them in this episode, but given I've been rambling for 30 plus minutes, I think it actually serves as a better standalone episode. But the takeaway on that end, I'll kind of plant as a seed for you, is everybody just wants to be seen. Whether you have matching shirts with your partner, whether you're sober or drinking heavily, whether you're showing off your new equipment, every single one of us human beings wants to be seen, wants to be heard, understood, feel validated, seek praise, all eyeballs and attention on them. It just shows up so differently in all walks of life. You know, something I noticed that I called myself out on is, yes, I hit that beautiful shot on the 9th hole of my 5th match to ultimately win us that hole in that match. And I was so excited to tell so many people. And I know that's normal, but I fairly quickly caught myself. Like, we wouldn't have been in that position if Aaron, my playing partner, hadn't played so stellar the vast majority of that round. And here I am talking about that one shot, and I caught myself and told myself to shut the fuck up and focus on the team camaraderie aspect, because he did so much to get us into that position in the first place. So many little things I learned, and I share these little things with you because these are part of the conversations you have in your own mind. And sometimes you might think you're crazy. Sometimes you might think you're too hard on yourself. Maybe you're not hard enough on yourself. Do you hold yourself accountable enough? Do you not? And I hope by me sharing some of the inside look into what's going on in my mind, you feel not alone. And know that you're not alone. I hear you. I see you. I understand you. So there's a lot I learned in this, and I'll continue to unpack these in the episodes to come. I'm most proud of my resilience. I should not have been playing. Like, let's be frank. Feverish. I lost 10 pounds of snot throughout the couple of days. I probably drank 20 Gatorade 2s throughout those 2 days. And I showed up. And I did the best I could. I refocused when it was hard. I talked myself to a place of neutrality when I needed to. And I did my very best to find a state, to create a state of blissful boredom. There were so many things I wish I could have done prior to prepare. Yet it also taught me and reinforced just how much mental preparation I can do, how much emotional preparation I can do without touching a golf club. Reminded me of the power of self-talk, presence, gratitude in my breath. And I am so excited to hopefully have the opportunity to participate in our club's club championship. I'm not sure of the exact date yet. I know it's in November. My son's birthday is in November, though, so I got to just obviously prioritize that first. But I'm hopeful for the opportunity. And here we are. A lot of my golf game is significantly improved the last couple of months. And I've got a few months to really drop my handicap. I don't know how low I go, but I know I will go low these last 2 months, 2 months and a few days. It's exciting. And I'm at a place now where there's more clarity, predictability, and structure in my schedule than there has ever been the last 3 to 6 months. And that's a really good feeling. So more golf can arrive on the calendar, and I look forward to that. But that's where we are. That's my member guest recap. So much fun. So grateful for the opportunity. So grateful for the club and all the wonderful workers for putting it on. I learned a lot. I had so much fun. Hey, winning our flight, such a tremendous experience. I will forever hold on to that. Getting a taste of the shootout, knowing what to expect, and just really looking forward to building off of this moving forward. Hey, I thank you so much for listening to this. I hope you found some wisdom, some relatability, or just something to chew on so that you can learn and grow and be better. On Thursday, we are back per usual. And I do want to tell you, I'm just switching screens here, who you have on the calendar coming, because we got a lot of phenomenal guests coming up. And I want to just shout them out here. So on this Thursday, right before Halloween, we have, oh yeah, we've got my mentor, Elliot Rowe. Peak performance and mindset coach to the top poker players in the world. His clients have won hundreds of millions of dollars. He's my mentor. He's how I got on this path of mindset coaching and high performance hypnotherapy. This is a phenomenal conversation, real big full circle moment for me. After that, we've got Patrick Sebastian, 20 years MMA fighting and coaching experience, and talking from a mindset and performance perspective with him. Mike Booker, the tournament golf legend, coming on after that. Dr. Allison Kurt, the epitome of a peak performer, and so many more guests in the pipeline. I thank you for listening. And as always, hey, if you're enjoying this, you're finding value, leave a rating, leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It means so much to me. So many of you reach out on Instagram, email, if you're fortunate enough to have my personal phone number, telling me you enjoy the episode, you love the guests, and you haven't left a review. Review goes a long way. That's the best way to support the show, to help empower me to bring on these incredible guests. So please get that taken care of. Looking forward to joining you Thursday when I have Elliot on the show, and again next Monday, just you, me hanging out, attempting to do everything we can to do and be better. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Make this week great, and I'll talk to you soon.